tried my best. Very well. Um, Mr. Mr. Prime Minister, I have three questions for you. One, the context of equitable distribution. Portland Eastern sits in the east of the island, but there are communities that are marooned. And I heard in your statement, you made mention of the use of technology. And while we applaud that, technology sometimes cannot be a substitute for the lived human experience. So much so that in Portland Eastern, there are communities where all the roofs were blown off. And because it's not a parish that is labeled as affected areas, albeit there are places, as in different communities that were affected because we are a coastal parish, as you understand. Will there be a committee set up to investigate the maroon areas so that they can be attended first in time, like the other areas that have already been designated as such? In keeping with the equitable distribution, if I am to continue with the theme of dealing with human dignity, Portland Eastern is now situated as the least among us, but the spirit of the Constitution speaks about protecting the rights of the least among us. Since those who are affected that are not a part of the classification of the catastrophe that my colleagues speak of in the name parishes, it is my question to you whether you will reconsider, because of geographical location, size of size of the constituency, whether or not an allocation can be reconsidered on a situation ethics basis. So much so that the allocation for water for Portland Eastern, and I don't see the minister in here now, the allocation for basic, he's engaged in conversation, but the allocation for even food. Prime Minister, I did the math. It's $195 million for care packages for the 39,000 persons on the voters list alone. Now, I'm raising that to you because the public is watching. I'm in no way suggesting that you give me $195 million to feed the constituents, but I'm not being political now. The reality is, in terms of food distribution, the 1.5 million would amount to about 300 care packages at $5,000. Realistically, Prime Minister, the question I'm asking to you is in terms of the equity in distribution to ensure that persons are given the basic amenities, the basic necessities in keeping with ensuring that persons aren't excluded from the distribution. I would have raised in another forum in terms of the impossibility of government to take on the distribution by itself. It's just a consideration so that the Minister of Social Security isn't put on the back end when he's doing his best, that one understands that crisis. So a consideration that we are an island, we were all affected, and whatever mechanism is used to find the areas so the least among us is not suffering, because we are guided by the Constitution. I'm just asking you to consider that. And the last but not least, in keeping with the teachings of Jesus and situation ethics, is that we are guided to understand that at a time like this, Prime Minister, we don't see color. We don't see the political lines. And if we would communicate that to the public, that we are united on that front, then certainly when it comes to distribution, one understands that the cries that I make for Portland Eastern is as equally where the areas that are suffering from the disaster and the devastation, that they also are seen. Thank you.
Don't turn the mic off,
I know,
please. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, thank you for your
Member
indulgence.
from